I was 22 years old.
Because you said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk. When can we see them, and what's taking so long to release them?
Breaking news, a fiery plane crash in Pennsylvania. The FAA says 5 people were on board the plane when it crashed.
I do partnership, not ownership. Sure. You're not my property. I don't even want to own you. I want to partner in this situation.
What mother leaves her young kids alone in the house for 4 years?
And it's against my religion to tell y'all my business.
You been in cars that time?
Yes, I have. I've been in cars smarter than that.
And it's against my religion to tell you my business. Unless you buying me land, unless you buying me houses, and I want $5,000 a week. Hey everybody, welcome. Hope everyone is having an amazing Saturday. We are back again for the Collective News segment. This is episode 6, y'all. We done been here for 6 different occasions for the Collective News, and y'all, unfortunately, this might be the last. Tyra, how are you today? Are you ready to dig into the Collective News? And is this going to be our last Collective News segment?
I'm definitely here to get into the Collective News, and unfortunately, yes, y'all, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So far, the engagement for the Collective News seems to be less and less. And if there's no gain in either capacity, whether it's engagement or financial, because you guys are so intrigued and want to be involved in the live, then we have no choice but to take it on down and all off the calendar. Maybe something that will bring, if not, maybe once a month or something like that, but weekly, probably not.
Yeah. But other than that, how are you today? Are you ready to dive in? Because let's make that first things first, and let's just put it on the table. But how are you?
I'm great. I am great. Per usual. I don't know what you got back there in the tuck or what we have, on the docket for tonight. So I'm interested to see. I know a couple things, but that's it.
Child, we got a lot to talk about. A lot. But let's say hello to everyone really quickly, and we will dive in because I got a ton of stuff. Some heavy, some lighter, some darker, some brighter. You know what I mean? Not to, give you the wordplay on today. But hey, Darfalina, good to see you, sis. Good to see you. Hey, Morgan. This is like the 3rd day in a row I've seen you, Morgan. Welcome. We're so glad to have you. You are truly welcome here. Hey, Jazz, what's going on? What's going on? What's up, Tony T? Hello, everyone. Hit that like button for this awesome live. Amen. Let the church say amen. And close them doors. Low Reacts, good to see you, sis. Good to see you. Hey, Bookworm. Hey. Ready to hang out. I'm ready for current news and commentary. Okay. Hey, McD, Bozak, what's good? Hope everyone has had an amazing Saturday so far. Medea goes to the gutter. Well. Hey, Lynn. Hey, sis. Hey, Arnold. Hey, ladies, showing love to the stream. We appreciate you. Thank you for the love. And he's right. As you come in, hit that like button, drop a comment, drop an emoji, drop something. You know what I mean? Just to say you done been here. All right. Tiff to the Annie. Okay, girl. No.
But no.
Like Sarah said, it might be like a once a month thing, but maybe not weekly. It just depends, you guys. Honestly, it's just been going down and down and down every week in terms of engagement. And we want things going up, up, up. That kind of is what dictates our scheduling.
What goes.
Miriam, girl, I was just talking about you earlier in the collective. I said, now I ain't called her out. I ain't sent out an APB. I haven't, tried Morse code. But it's good to see you, boo. I hope you are doing well and having an amazing official first day of summer. Breeze coming through with the coin, a cute coin. Thank you, Breeze, for the $5 super chat. Tyler Perry being gay isn't a problem, but if he's guilty, he needs to pay. Blackety blam, boom, bam, is what that sounded like, Brees. I
The
like how
Maverick.
that rhymed. Yeah, the Maverick. I like how that rhymed. It gave very much Maxine Shaw, attorney at law. Like, share, subscribe, join the Discord. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, y'all. We are at 300 people in the Discord, y'all. Like, unbelievable. Tyra said it's a chop. Listen. You got to make the hard decisions sometime. I think he's guilty, though. Girl, we're going to get into it, and we're going to go through these text messages. Cause Lord. Hey Bookworm, what's good? What's good? What's good again? Hey Leslie over at Book Skirts and Purrs, what's good? Hey Ashley Williams. Hey Steph. Thank you Bookworm for the $4.99 super sticker. We appreciate you so much. Look at Sam in the building. What's good? Over at Our Life in Horror. Hey ladies. Hey everyone. Hey, B. Avery. What's going on, Brandon? Over there at Just My Opinion. Hope you're having an amazing Saturday as well. What's good, Toshiba? What's good, Toshiba? TP in the building. All right. T Hutch in the building. Our TP needs a new name because this confused me for a sec. Yeah, Brees was talking about Tyler Perry, not our TP. Not our TP. Thank you again, Bookworm, for the $4.99 super chat. Hey, Ashley, supporting weekly or monthly, period. Bookworm supports every
Thank
time.
you. Period. Thank you.
We appreciate you so much. All right, y'all. Oh, hold on. Not my good sis, Jay, making it to a live tonight. Member for 9 months with the struggle is real. Hey,
That's a
y'all.
long time. That's a long time.
That's a
Some of
long.
y'all can't even spell prawn. Some of y'all can't even spell 9 months. Thank you so much, Jay.
That's a long time. Hey Trent, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Tyler is straight. He even had a kid that no one has ever seen.
Oh
Listen,
God. He spit out.
it's blanket, all right? It's blanket. And not 60 of y'all being in the building already. Thank you for joining us
It's probably
tonight.
cute. Mm-hmm.
Listen,
Yeah, it's never an issue getting you guys in here. I guess just maybe after we have the discussion, maybe people just aren't rolling up afterwards.
Maybe, yeah. Oh. Now she coming through again. A member for 11 months over here with the sweet peas. Hey, y'all.
Sure.
Hey, them text messages was sus. In my humble opinion, it was. Dominique, good to see you. Good to see you. The Dominique Devereaux of it all. Child, I was listening to another podcast talking about Tyler Perry last night, and somebody said his next movie is going to be titled Madea Goes to Jail for Real this time. You know what? I'm not doing this with y'all. But y'all, we are going to get into it because we have a ton to discuss. And I think we might as well just start here, Tyra. No video for this one, all
much.
evidence. As we've heard over the past week, Tyler Perry is being sued by the Oval actor Derek Dixon for $260 million. All right. Over workplace sexual harassment and sexual assault allegations. Perry's attorney calls it a scam. This is an individual who got close to Tyler Perry for what now appears to be nothing more than setting up a scam. But Tyler will not be shaken down, and we are confident that these fabricated claims of harassment will fail. Tyler Perry's attorney, Matthew Boyd. Now, Tyra, before we get into the thick of it all, with all of these text messages, I starred the ones that were problematic to me. But what do you know about this? And just immediately, is Tyler guilty? That's what I want to know from you. Is he guilty? And what's your overall thought about this allegation, this case?
I mean, I don't think anybody was surprised. Who saw this and was like, "Oh no, not Tyler and the boys"? Like, I think from the inception of Tyler, especially getting away from the plays, and it was like, oh, he's really good at Medea, and oh, every single lead actor is always, muscle bound and attractive. There's, clearly a type when it comes to casting and so on and so forth. In the Boondocks episode, and here we are. There's always been an underlining of Tyler being X, Y, and Z. That man's business is his business, and I will say Tyler is a man of a certain age. The Luther Vandrosses, the Johnny Gills, if you will. My business is my business. My sexuality and what I do should have no presence on how I intermingle as a billionaire. Fine. Is he guilty? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't see this, being pulled out of the sky. Have people been sued for less or, chalked up charges? Sure. We don't have a whole lot of information, but from what we do see and from what we know as far as Tyler's history, this isn't far fetched. Now, I don't know if I've gotten through all of these text messages, but from what I hear, he was making advances to this gentleman, not only through these text messages, but maybe on set, kind of giving the vibe of, I thought if I gave him what he needed, he'll give me what I needed. You want the role or not? you trying to be in my next, production of whatever or not. The whole thing of, oh, this is a shakedown. This gentleman got close to Mr. Perry, blase, blase. Could that be true? Absolutely. Absolutely. But as a Mr. Perry, as a black billionaire, you don't leave room for error. You don't have that kind of mistake to make. These messages shouldn't even be here. And with them being here and Tyler being who he is, Tyler could have anybody. Tyler could have the boys. Baby, Tyler Perry Studios is in Atlanta. No Tino shade. But you could have your pick of, who would want to be in line, sign that NDA, be at your beck and call, because who I'm gonna tell? Nobody, because I'm being well taken care of by Mr. Perry. Cool. Have your outside life, have your wife, your child, and that's just what that is. The fact that we decide to do it within our own place of business in our studio, it tells me that this is more than just a sexual thing, and this is about power and how we may be able to leverage and throw it around. And if this is true, this is not the first time Tyler's done this. These are very comfortable messages. I'm going to proposition you if you, and let's not just assume, because I don't know this man's sexuality either, but let's just say he is. That doesn't mean I want, Tyler Perry. I may just be a gay man or I may just be a straight man, but I think it's about conversion, about power, about what could be willed because I'm in the position to give it and you're not. I hate this because, we don't need this. But I'm not gonna go instantly with they trying to destroy a black man. Straw just came out too. Oh, y'all trying to tear down Tyler Perry. Don't leave any room to be torn down. This is so obvious, what's going on in these messages. And it's just sad that we would rather have our sexual conquest or what we have hopes to be one via this and not just doing it the correct way and still having your secret life. Like, you have to protect yourself and protect your assets. Don't leave room. And I know everybody's going like ambulance chaser immediately because who said you deserve $260 million? Y'all don't get to tell that man what to ask for. Now, he did say that he was assaulted, physically, rapey? No, but I was physically assaulted and I was assaulted verbally, doing these text messages. This is harassment. But as the boss man and the one wielding the power, this does look bad. And I do think he's guilty.
Lord have mercy. Well, I mean, according to Derek Dixon's attorney, he says Mr. Perry took his success and power being the operative word, and used his considerable influence in the entertainment industry to create a coercive, sexually exploitative dynamic with Mr. Dixon, initially promising him career advancement and creative opportunities such as producing his pilot and casting him in his show, only to subject him to escalating sexual harassment, assault, and battery and professional retaliation. So here's the thing, y'all. And I too, again, there's no excuse. Off the cuff, off the heels, literally, of a Diddy, of a Shannon Sharp, just in 2025, as a black man with accumulated wealth, this is so silly. This is so silly, baby, and you get what you pay for. When I hear the story and the accounts of a Mr. Derek Dixon, it sounds eerily a lot like Christian Keys when he got on that Instagram live, right? There was a drunken night. You don't need to drive. Stay in the guest room. You wake up in the middle of the night, allegedly, to Tyler Perry groping your man parts. He's down there between your legs, and you didn't invite him there. I think that there's an issue whenever I see a pattern, right? We see it a lot of times with much older people pursuing younger people exclusively. We see it with those in seats of power, i.e., vis-a-vis the Me Too movement, right? There were people in power, and some of the arrangements were quid pro quo, but it doesn't absolve the person in power from liability, in my opinion. You're leading with that because you know, with your money, with your influence, with all of those things, you can control a narrative. You can control a person. You can get what you want out of almost anyone. Tyler Perry's a billionaire, not a millionaire, a billionaire. And if he was silly enough to get into some wild situations and set himself up for the okey doke with this YT presenting man, this is on him. I ain't got nothing to say about it. This is not my business. It's beyond me. I will say these messages can be construed multiple ways. It could be, it's a burgeoning friendship and whatever. The ones that stand out to me, honestly, and I think about this in terms of if I'm an employee and this is my boss messaging me, right? There's never a time from my boss when he needs to talk to me about the smecks of it all. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need to hear about your sex guilt or, well, the only one you got have gotten through for you is sex in prison. So just stick to that. You got to let your no be no. How can I get you off the hook? This isn't the life that you would want. I would hope that you would let someone hold you and make love to you. You are missing the best years of your life, my friend. Trust me. I hope you get past that block in your mind soon. He's trying to get him off the hook. What do the predators always say? I needed to get her off the hook. Like she
No,
want to say yes. That's what Timex said. That's what evil Bruce Leroy said in A Different World, season 2, I think it was, with Freddie Brooks. He said, you got to get
Ashley,
him off the hook.
please.
I'm just saying, this is ridiculous. You are a grown man, Tyler, talking to this grown man. Apparently, Derek Dixon was a waiter that he met. I don't know if it was a party or some sort of event. He saw him, he took a liking to him and said, I'm going to make you famous. I'm going to put you in the Oval and I'm going to help lead your career. In the text messages, we also see conversation about don't tell anyone on set
Yeah.
about our friendship, right? Because they'll take it the wrong way. They'll start treating you differently if they know. So not only am I being inappropriate in these text messages talking to an employee about his sexual prowess and what he wants to do and how he's going to do it, but then we're under the cloak of secrecy. Let's get these super chats, Tyra. What else do you have to say on this?
Baby, just move. Like, this could have been extremely. This is just so stupid. This is just so stupid. We just keep seeing so many of, I guess, our own. And not to say that others, but they do. But these are the people we care about, the people that are revered by some in the community. They just keep getting caught up in such silly situations with people who have nothing to lose.
Nothing.
These people
Only
have
this.
nothing to lose and every single thing in the world to gain. So when we have situations like, well, hey, don't tell anybody, down at the studios, you wouldn't want anybody treating you differently. What's our business is our business. Or, saying that I'm going to advance you in this way if you do X, Y, and Z. But I'm not going to outwardly say that we're making a fair exchange. But Tyler, that's what these text messages say without saying it. So just don't always think you're safe and secure because you worded it different. You didn't say I want the D, but you said, like, lift your head up, King. You are the rose. You're the rose. You're the like, he was fawning over this man. You don't see this handsome stud. And the man's like, yeah, ooh, nice background. It looks real, tropical where you are. It must be warm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what about me? Don't I look good, Mr. Armstrong? Baby, ain't nobody and this man, is clearly not interested. But Tyler, if you open the window, even if you thought that this was under the guise of friendship, there was too much room for error. And the moment that you realize that you had to offer something to get something, we're crossing the line. And then that's a line that we shouldn't run across anyway with somebody who works underneath us. I'm not leaving no room for no error with all my billions. That's crazy.
Listen, as much as Tyler Perry be quoting the scripture, the Bible says Don't even let your good be evil spoken of. Flee the very appearance of evil in this moment. I'm not a preacher or anything, but he always want to quote a scripture,
No.
and lay hands on people. So I'm just saying, like, you have to know at this big age and with that amount of wealth that you've amassed, that whether innocent or guilty, somebody's always looking for something.
Yeah. I will say that, and I see people in the chat saying, mentioning Kristen Keys, whether it's him or not, or whether,
The
if it
story
was
should be
Tyler
the same.
Perry, he never said, his name. If it was that type of situation and Christian Keys was, highlighting, gaslighting, giving into the situation without saying a name, probably looking for a payout, because he got quiet and we haven't heard anything from him since that incident. And he did not say Tyler's name. But if it was you and you had to just pay that man some money, I would have thought that that would be the light bulb to go, okay, let me move completely different. I think if he's this comfortable, even after a Christian Keys situation, if it was him, then he's done this so much throughout his career and he's too damn comfortable.
Absolutely. And the Christian did not say his name, right? He said nobody's name, whatever. And then it was quelled. He got a cute payout, I'm sure. What I'm saying is the stories are so extremely similar. Literally, from the guest room to you drank too much to you wake up to somebody grabbing you and holding you. The stories are almost bar for bar. That's why I made that comment. But again, it's all alleged. I don't know them people business. I wasn't there. We're just reading it on the back end. CJ, I'm not reading that, but hashtag Game of Thrones fun. Thank you for the $5 super chat. We will add it to the collection. I think we're going to be sat on Tuesday, Chuck, because you've been coming through dripping for the Game of Thrones. Swag fan, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Happy Saturday, y'all. Happy Saturday to you. Diamond Monroe, hey sis, hope you're having an amazing Saturday. Thanks for being a member of the struggle for 8 months. Tyler is guilty. There have been allegations about him for years. I'm surprised it took this long for it to really be on blast. Pretty girl, thank you for being a member of the struggle for 9 months. Yep, sloppy moves for Tyler. And here's the thing, I don't think anyone has qualms about his sexuality. There have been other people that have come out that said, Tyler is openly in his friend groups, of a certain persuasion. But he said that when he embarked on this journey to become this mogul, this billionaire, that he was going to put that to the side. If you just watch the Pee Wee Herman documentary, he said the same exact thing. The issue with living a lie is that it's going to spill out, right? Because you're not going to stop the behavior or your proclivity, whatever that is. This just makes it messier when you're hiding it. I think that's the dangerous part. But I also think somebody said it in the comments. I'm not sure who, because all the comments are coming so fast. But there's definitely a power kink, a power dynamic with all of these men that we've
Yeah.
seen who've been brought to the surface this last year. So, oh Lord. Hey, Dahomey, welcome. Christian Keys was mentioned in the lawsuit on paragraph 180. We'll talk about it then. Well,
Paragraph
listen,
180, section 3.
the stories are familiar, but easing on down this
Good
road,
morning.
Tyra,
I have been waiting.
let's get over here and we're going to talk Fat Joe. Since we're in the business of collecting a cute coin, um, let's go over here with Fat Joe and see what's happening here. This one kind of bothers me, just because if this hype man, who is the one that is called Fat Joe out and is suing Fat Joe for being a PDF file, right, for messing with underage girls that he was aware of. My question to the hype man is, why did we not immediately go to the police? It's very interesting that you have that same strange attorney who's going after everybody else. Busby, is that the name? You have
Yeah,
the
Tony
same
Busby.
strange attorney that's doing this. But after, this suit, Fat Joe has filed a countersuit for defamation. This young lady is going to give us a breakdown of what is in
Good
this
morning.
filing.
I have been waiting in the Diddy line for court, and I've been reading the Fat Joe lawsuit, which is insane. He is being sued civilly by his former hype man. His name is Terrence Dixon, and it's 157 pages, this lawsuit, with so much information, I don't even know where to start. He alleges that Fat Joe made him have intercourse in front of him over 4,000 times. There is things about minors. Apparently, he had a hit, allegedly, out on DMX and then 50 Cent at different times. I mean, there is a lot here. I will make a separate video at some point going over this entire suit. But wow, he also is using the same attorney as Lil Rod Jones, and that's Tyrone Blackburn. And Tyrone was
Blackburn.
also Brianna Bongalin's lawyer as well at for her first civil lawsuit against Diddy, and then she let him go. But more on this later.
So yeah, and if you know anything about Brianna's lawyer, allegedly, from what I've heard in speculation in terms of the Diddy trial, she had to fire him because he had added wild things to the lawsuit that just really didn't happen. He had exaggerated some things. I think he was the one who had written in there that she was dangled over the banister by her boobs or whatever. Um, and so so I mean, it's crazy. Tyra, what did you think when you initially heard about this, and what do you think about Fat Joe saying, "No, I'm gonna sue you for defamation"?
I didn't know anything about this. I'm like, Joey Crack? I didn't know anything about this. Twin, what happened? I didn't know anything about this. With these celebrities, not much surprises me these days, but from the suit, it seems like we've been fostering and fed and hearsay or probably physically seen some of these things for however long as his hype man, and now we say something. If he was moving in these spaces like that, being a PDF file, why now? We always want these people to be found out, to be brought to justice. And if you're guilty, you can go and sit in your cell right next to R. Kelly because he died and tried to get out of his. But you're complacent. You had a hand in it. When all these things were going on that you were privy to, what were you doing? Participating, standing around, co-signing, gathering these girls? Like, what was going on?
Mm-hmm.
This is sick behavior. If Joey Crack out here moving like that, he needs to be brought to justice and put underneath the damn jail. But whoever is bringing up these charges, as a hype man, you were close enough to whatever to even feel like these things happen. That means you saw them and you heard them and you did nothing. And if he is that, like, man, so many of them, they always have a team. It's always more than, a couple people who know exactly what's going on. It's wranglers, it's handlers who get things, it's never just one person. So if it's true, let's get the trial on started. And if it's not, he needs to sue him for defamation and cease all of this. But this is disgusting. I hope it's not. But what's new these days? It seems like, first of all, what you're not gonna do is put a hit out on DMX. What we're not gonna do?
Never.
That's what we're not gonna do is try to touch Earl. Like, it's so much being said. So I guess this will be another trial, or if it even makes it that far, or a situation that we have to wait and hearsay to see what's true and what's not. This is crazy. Like, girl, the 90s is just destroyed, boy. I swear.
Listen. So they're saying that this will be civil, but if there's foundation and grounds, I mean, that would be a RICO. If he was procuring minors, allegedly, or doing whatever, and all that was happening, that would be an enterprise. But Lord have mercy, Jesus. Like, would y'all stop? Like, what was happening? I agree, Tyra. What were y'all doing? But yeah, this is just still very early in its development. So of course we'll see what happens with that later. But speaking of R. Kelly, let me see if I have his.
Lord.
No, we're not going to go over there because I don't know if I have it uploaded. I don't think I had enough room. I didn't have enough room, girl. I didn't have enough video room or slides. So let's go over here. And I just want to know what you think of these looks. This is a little bit more lighthearted. Let's go over here. This is Venus Williams' new magazine spread in L'Officiel, right? And I saw this just in passing, and I was like, Venus looks good. To me, she's definitely channeling Grace Jones, like circa 1990, with this big hair moments, even with the shorter compact. I haven't seen Venus in so long, but she looks amazing. She looks moisturized. She looks glistening. Her skin tone is impeccable. And I just wanted to bring her up on the screen. Tyra, any thoughts on Venus's latest spread?
Girl, I'm messy. It's definitely Grace Jones. I think she looks beautiful, but for decades, everybody was distracted because Serena had them thighs. It was thick. Just it was ass on the court, ass and beats. And we rarely gave Venus her just due. And she was always kind of like the low key sister. You don't hear a whole lot. Like if I ain't winning these championships, you not gonna know anything about what I'm doing. I'm not trying to be a socialite. I am just an athlete. That's that. I do like that Venus seems to be aging really well, and from the looks of it, she hasn't did too much tweaking to herself or adjusting on herself. So I can't see Venus and not automatically think of what Serena looks like now. But that's it. She looks beautiful.
I'm messy, but I got to compare in my
I
mind.
was like, girl, this is what happens when you girls just leave it alone. Don't mess with nothing.
Well, Venus had a health condition and she was really in the shadows while Serena was doing all of the endorsements, doing all of the things, and just really being seen, especially like at Fashion Week, when she had her clothing line and all of that. So I just think it's really, really neat to see Venus over here shining and looking beautiful, and just looking good and healthy. This just warmed my heart to see. So I just had to throw her in there and show some love. Thank you, Halima14, for the $5 super chat. Thank you, ladies, for doing this live. Thank you for coming and supporting the live. This is what we'd like to see. There's 130 of y'all here right now, and we appreciate y'all being here.
As soon as we say sayonara,
that's when y'all come. But here we're going to go even lighthearted, and we're going to go to a segment I like to call foolishness. And Tyra, I want to know, if you were a single woman on this here market, would this be your move? And I want to know if this is a line that you would use.
All right, y'all. This is like some of my pickup lines that below Trey I actually use in real life when I see a nigga that I want type shit. Cause look, I don't get chose. I do the choosing. That's probably why I don't work out, because I always like choosing my niggas, and I guess I let niggas choose me. But anyway, y'all, this is how I do it. My favorite one is this one. How I'm getting into character. I'll see a nigga on the pass. You know how y'all look at each other briefly, and I'll be like, damn. You feel me? And they gonna be like, they always ask like, why you do that? I'm like, I don't mean no harm, but damn, like, you look good as hell. They gonna start laughing like, you exchange numbers, The second one is this one. You walk up to the nigga, right? Hold on. Walk up to him, but I ain't gonna lie, I don't mean no harm, but you my type. I already know I'm your type, so like, can we exchange? Can I take you out? Type shit. I'm telling you, niggas folding. I'm telling y'all, like, just do it. I'm telling you, bro. On my granny, I will not lie to y'all. Like, niggas going. You gotta I got pickup lines on my granny. I gotta make you feel good, baby. I swear to
God.
She tickled me. Now, that's not my ministry. I do not approach. Listen, I deserve to be approached. So I'm not going over there. But I like this. Hey, if he ain't coming, if the one you want doesn't approach, girl, go on and shoot your shot. Tyra, would you take this advice? Are these words to live by? Have you ever approached anyone? I'm curious. Drop it in the chat too, y'all.
She said on the dead homies, for real though, like, man, looking real good. Like, no, I have not. Not in this way anyway. Like, not that bra fight, but because titties, lips, body, yada yada, tight. I'm just not. No, I'm just not, like, I don't know. And it's weird because I am of the age where I'm really not in the space to want to be waiting to be approached all the time, especially if I see you and I feel like there's genuine interest there. I think we give men a little bit too much power in the sense of, if you want something, you're going to go get it and go. And they be just as scared and shook to shoot their shot, as the next person. Well, some. But it also, says something about a man who's going to come up to you and say what he says and, know what he wants, versus you having to go say it. Titties. No, I like to be, poached.
I do too. There's something so chivalrous, right, about a man approaching. And I'm not one of them girls. Y'all know I'm not a feminist. I'm more of a womanist, if anything. But I still believe in a man pursuing a woman. I'm genteel and have a delicate nature at the end of the day. But speaking of Black women, I want to go over here because this is something that we talked about in our last, or maybe the collective news discussion before this one. And we were just kind of shining light on a situation. Well, apparently the filmmaker has gotten some pushback, so I thought it was good to revisit this.
Can't make money about black women. Half of them are raised by deadbeats. They run away all the time. White women are usually innocent and actually get harmed. The doc should mention that. This comment pisses me off so much. Number one, as a black and independent filmmaker, I made this movie to protect black women because it's not being done enough in cinema, period. And obviously I needed to do so because there's still dumb that think just like this. Number two, the media only reports on 7% of missing black or brown people. Meanwhile, we make up most of the missing people. So basically, the media doesn't give a about us. So this movie had to be made to be the voice for the voiceless. Number three, support meaningful movies just like ours that help black or brown people because it's not being done. And comments like this win at the end of the day when we don't support movies like ours. Because if we don't support, who will?
Yeah, I wanted just to take time out. Again, this is the filmmaker for Missing Black Women, which is the about 1 hour documentary that was released on Prime Video a couple of weeks ago. Again, it's $3.99 to rent, $9.99 to purchase. Just because of comments like that, and not really just because of comments like that, but just because the lack of awareness and the ignorance around black and brown missing people in the country. I think this is an important watch, both Missing Black Women and Black and Missing, which airs on HBO Max. I recommend both of these docs very highly, but I did want to just shine some more light because apparently people still aren't getting it, Tyra. What do you think of that comment and him having to address it at this point?
Girl, I wouldn't have addressed it, honestly. I thought it was, at least a publication or somebody who mattered. Every little person walking is going to have their opinion on something. And there's always going to be a sector of the population that you probably don't want to win over anyway, because those are not the ones that are going to even care about a doc like this to even understand why it's so necessary. I wouldn't have given them people the time of day. But if this is something that is also shedding light on even the most ignorant person to go, well, yeah, let me go see what's going on over here. Maybe, this will offer more exposure to the doc in general. But yeah, baby, please, I wouldn't even wasted my breath. Both of these docs deserve to be seen and deserve a platform, and they're very needed, Lord. They're very, very needed, not, just because of this one comment, but just in general. There isn't any light being shed on missing or any other variations of things that happen to black and brown women anywhere. So why would we try to discard anything that does and then try to, spew the same rhetoric that is causing us to even need these in the first place? Child, let them people talk. I wouldn't worry about it.
Absolutely. And again, like I said, it just gave an opportunity, honestly, for me to share it again, because I do think that it's very important. And we know the history around that, right? They rate every 9 out of 10 missing black women or children as runaways immediately, like without any further discussion or talk about it. So again, Missing Black Women is available on Prime to rent. It's independent, and so we do want to throw our support behind that so that we can get more exposure and he can maybe get a wider spread or produce his next piece that's coming out. And then of course, Black and Missing is a 4-part docuseries that's available on Max right now that you can watch. Go check those out if you have the time and the space. But with that being said, where do I want to go next? Since we were just in the dating kind of situation with the foolishness, this is a cautionary tale, ladies. I don't want anybody who's ever been on either channel to ever endure something like this or ever even put themselves in this type of situation.
The part, excuse my language, I hope my video don't get flagged because of this, but maybe I should take that out. I don't know how this works, y'all. But the worst part about it all is the fact that this man, we're not even together anymore. We have a baby together, but we're not even together. And that's one of the bad parts about the whole thing. I sacrificed. I put it all on the line. I did all this for a man that I am not even with till this day. I have a 3-year-old daughter, a 1-year-old daughter. We're not together. I went to jail with this man, was in jail with this man. I helped protect this man so this man would not go to jail. Was I fully aware of everything that was going on 100% and knew all the details? No, I did not. But because of how I love this man, because of how much I love this man and wanted to be with him, I thought we were going to get married. I thought that this was any game for me, that this was the one. And because I thought of those things and I thought he felt the same way, that, okay, let me ride this out with him, you know? This is my man. This is going to be my husband. I'm pregnant with his baby. Mind you, plot twist. Y'all, I went to jail pregnant. I was pregnant in jail. I was going through so much, y'all. I didn't even want my baby.
Oh, girl.
I didn't even want my baby. I went through so much postpartum. And right now, to this day, the man is putting me through hell. Different babies, different baby mamas, different women, all pregnant. Like, it's just crazy. And all this because I took a ride. I took a ride with a man that I was involved with, and it cost me it costed me. Point blank period, it costed me.
Or just cost.
Real dime, supposed to be going to the casino, doing this, doing that. You know, I was sleeping during the time when we were driving to the casino. You know,
So, child, basically, there was stuff in the car, and rather than him taking the charge, she took the charge while pregnant with this man's child. And so now she got charges. She's jobless, 2 babies to feed, and she owes the state $6,000. This is not funny. This is a cautionary tale. And the only reason I share it is because as much as we can kind of scoff at it or say, oh, no, you know, whatever, could never be, this is a lot of women. This is multiple women. This is multiple women who have taken charges for a raggedy, dusty somebody. And the conversation can be a little bit nuanced. If you would like it to be, we can go there. But a real man, whether he's in the streets or not, would never put a woman in this position, right? There would never be a moment. The unfortunate thing about it is you won't know unless you're in that position to see what they're going to do. It's not worth the risk, y'all. As somebody who's, you know, in my younger years, listen, been down there with a hood one or two, Tyra. I've been with a hood one or two, right? But I've never been put in a dangerous situation or a precarious situation. I wanted just to show light that if you're riding in a car, if you're in a home with somebody and they have things there, it's not a safe space. You don't know what these Negroes are going to do. You don't know, girl. You don't know. And now she's here, 2 babies, owes the state, got pending charges, and might go to the Pinta for a good long time. And it just makes absolutely no sense. It's not worth it. The D's not worth it. He's not worth it. I just really want to get that message out because I know we do have younger people here. And I don't want anybody. I don't want anybody to go down through here, Tyra. I don't.
Girl, the way I could give a damn. Stupid. It's just stupid. We still doing this? Girl, this ain't the early, you know, mid-80s, late 90s. Like, we're still doing this. People still trying to show and prove and be ride or die for their trifling ass men. Are you stupid? Where's your mother? I just don't. Girl, lock her up. She's a danger to herself and to them kids. I don't, girl, look at here. Look.
I feel like I do. I feel like there's a lot of broken women, Tyra. And just because they're broken, do they deserve to be used in that way? I don't think so. I still think that the guy is the bad guy in it. I do think there comes a point where we have to take ownership, but I do have empathy for her, Tyra. I do, because I feel like even if you're a dingbat, even if you're a dummy, like I feel like, damn, that's sad. You don't feel like, damn, that's sad? I
No, this, hug your daughters, hug your children, teach your children right from wrong. I feel sad for whoever brought her up to think that this was okay in the first place, or whatever lacking that she didn't get from parenting. That's the sad part. This is ridiculous. Like, baby, you're going to jail. I don't know all of this show and prove and loyalty, and I'm so down that I'm gonna take that charge and do some jail time for you, boo. Because if it's reversed, baby, ain't nobody doing jail time for you. Nobody's waiting on you. That love is not going to be reciprocated in that way. Like, Lord, so somebody take her in. It. I don't know. I just feel like at this point, when are we holding people responsible? Like, I'm just like, girl.
Girl,
I
the
hope.
state gonna hold her responsible. The jail gonna hold her responsible, and the judge gonna hold her
Like,
responsible.
it's scary. Like, you didn't think about yourself, your children, just all this man, and we pregnant in the jail, and now you're at risk as well as two innocent babies. Man, they can go. Both of these people can go to hell. This is disturbing and disgusting.
It's bad. It's bad and it's sad. But y'all don't take no charge for no man. Don't even really be with them. It's just not the life. You don't need that. I promise you don't. There's way better options out here. There are gainfully employed good men out here that won't take you down through these penitentiary streets.
I didn't think this was still as prevalent.
Girl, on TikTok this year, I've seen at least 4 or 5 women go down for the men. One was buying blickies for the man in her name. They call it straw purchasing. She got sentenced to Fed time for that. There was another one riding around who took his dope case. I've seen 4 or 5 of these on TikTok this year, and these are not all spring chickens. Some of these women were up to 30 years old. I'm just saying. So I feel like it deserved a conversation. I do have a heart of compassion, but we do have to use wisdom.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just built different, I guess.
Yeah, I'm always gonna feel for the young girls. I do, because I feel like they had no guidance, Tyra. I feel like they had no guidance.
It costed her. Of course she did.
It did. It's gonna cost her more as it goes on. So now we're gonna go over here. This man said, "I wish some black men were in the room right now, cause who gonna check me, boo?"
Do you feel like you could say the N-word?
I feel like I can say it, but not because of that, and I'm gonna tell you why. I wish there was some black dudes in here.
There are. Will right there. And there's one right here. Not.
Okay, well, we're gonna use him. What the fuck are you gonna do about it, you know?
This is where I need all my black people to step in and handle that business. He shouldn't even feel comfortable saying that he's able to say the N-word and no one's gonna do anything about it. That room should have been shook, literally. And I'm actually surprised that the interviewers, both Angela Yee and Cleopatra, didn't check him about that. Like, they should have checked him about that. Because for one, you're now enabling his behavior by not telling him, yo, I don't care where you from, but you ain't doing that over here. And 2, you letting him not only disrespect your space, but your team as well, or your people as well. And that's not okay at all. Nonetheless, I just felt like this is the type of thing where we as black people have to come together and check people. Like, bottom line. They shouldn't even feel comfortable saying that they could say the N-word whenever they want to. Absolutely not. And we as black people need to start working as a collective to start checking people when they're out of line.
So basically, OT says that he grew up around blacks. He fought with blacks. He loved blacks, and so he gets a pass. He can say what he want to say, because that's his people. He fought with the blacks. He's done everything with the blacks. So now he feels like we can see it. Now, I'll say, growing up in the West, all right, I didn't hear that too much from like the Mexican American population. Like it wasn't that type of party at all where I was from. But then when I came out east, I did notice that Cubans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, a lot of Latinos on the East Coast do say it often, and it seems permissible and acceptable. Tyra, I'm going to ask you, what did you think about this situation? Have you known any other Latin races to use that word, and how do you
Girl.
feel about it? I'm curious. I'm curious.
First of all, that Mexican OT rapper, he's a Texas native. We from Texas. That's what they do down here.
Oh, I ain't know
Yeah,
nothing about
it's very prevalent down here, so I'm not surprised that he got on this platform and showed himself this way. And I'm more surprised at the outrage. Like the covetousness of that word has long been down the drain. People let things fly and stop checking folks long ago. I think people left the door open. When I say people, I mean us, black people, left that door open because we got real picky and iffy with who could say it and who couldn't. And now it's just completely overblown. And then you're checking charts and going, well, if this person is part this that, well, technically they should be able. And it's just like, no, if you're not a black person, it shouldn't be coming out of your mouth. It's disrespect. Oh, well, it's different with this person because they're using it as a term of endearment. Well, we're going to allow this person, this non-black person, to say it, but not this person. It hasn't been gate kept at all, even at the point in the expense of this interview. They sat there. It was a point. I'm sure this is probably exposure for the interview and just the topic of conversation. Everything should have been unplugged. And I wish a black man was here because who was going to check me? Somebody should have said, no, a black man doesn't need to be here. As a black woman, I'm going to check you, and this is over because you're not going to say it in my presence. No, interview over. No, they kept going. They kept going, and now we're here. Like, the word just hasn't been gate kept with us as a people. So how are we going to expect anybody else to abide by something we didn't abide by? Now I know there is a whole sector of folks who really are standing 10 toes down, and we're going to be prolific in, no, you're not going to, and you're going to stand on it, because I don't think it's okay for anybody who's non-black to say it, because one moment it's a term of endearment, and then the next moment where you don't like me, I'm a ninja, I'm all these other things. So I'd rather not let you have that line to cross at all. And then there's the other side where, oh, well, this is mine, it's cool. We didn't even gatekeep the word. We haven't gatekept the word in a long time. So I don't know oh my God, they should have. They don't give a damn. This was something to go viral and something to do. And I doubt him, even as a rapper, he's going to get any backlash or any type of downshift in his career because, oh, you say it. I'm sure he's probably, I don't listen to it, but he probably says it in his music. I don't know.
I think there's a lot that we black people don't gatekeep. We don't gatekeep the invites to the cookout. We don't gatekeep our culture. We don't gatekeep a lot of things. And I think that's a lot of the beauty of us, but also I think that sometimes our downfall, just as a collective, right, within the diaspora, I feel like we're so open and welcoming and embracing to almost everyone. Like, there's no, like, as far as just even me, I can just speak for me. There is nothing like black community when you're engaged, whether you know people or not. I think black people are some of the most welcoming, loving, embracing people of all cultures. Come on in. No, we got you. You want to play? Like, are you good? And I think
Yeah.
that just spills over into every other area, because it's like, oh no, I know you. I know your heart's not like that. And I know you my whole life. So it's okay. But really not thinking about the overall global impact of that, because I can say this with you, but then 5 minutes later, I can turn around and call you that name with a hard ER at the end of it, or whatever it is in my native language. I think there's such a slippery slope and fine line, and we've allowed it for so long. I don't know how you pull it back now. I don't know how you
I
pull
don't
it
know.
back, because you let the whites do it. Now, I've heard that before in real life. I've heard, the hood white people, and they're like, oh no, he cool, he gets a pass, but does
My
he? Like,
wigger. My wigger.
listen, B Rad G from Boo, like, is that you know what I mean? So it's like, how do you police it now when you've
Yeah.
never policed anything in the culture before?
Yeah. And it's different because I'm sure if someone went up to that Mexican OT and called him a WB, you what? Excuse me? Like, you're not finna, if you go to the any other any other community and give them that derogatory term. And even if you're trying to use it in a sense of endearment, it's probably not going to fly. But everybody gets to say the N word because it's just a part of like the casual conversation now. It's like, oh, that's my, oh, we cousins. Oh, that's my ninja.
I feel like it got my daddy blood on it. Like I feel like the word has my daddy's blood on it. And I feel like if you can't relate to a struggle or not directly or indirectly impacted by said struggle, by said abuses, by all of the things that blacks in America have endured, it's a mockery then at that point. I feel like I love the reclamation of the word by the blacks, because I feel like we turned a negative into a positive and it's all good now. But as far as other people using it, I feel like it definitely gives culture vulture and why are you over here? Don't do that.
But that's just that, because even I see Inez here, like, you know, Fat Joe, and people excuse Fat Joe. People will excuse and cape for Cardi B all the time. The outrage that was happening, we've been talking about Love Island with the contestant because she was ninja this on whatever podcast she was on. She had to go immediately. You have Cardi B, you know, say it, and it's fine. You have Fat Joe say it, and it's fine. So it's like you can't try to police it where you feel like, okay, this person's cool. But you're not. Like, it's just confusion now, and now other people are confused and they feel like they can say it and use it however they want to.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I'm gonna say it, Inez, but that's just me. Like I said, it got my daddy blood on it. I could say it, but I don't go for, you know, Chuck. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I agree, but some folks give a sexual partner a pass. Now, Chuck, we could get into a whole thing of race play because I heard what the men's like from the white women when they in the bedroom. I heard about that, Chuck.
Miriam say backlash. Exactly, Miriam. Fat Joe and J Lo would have gotten backlash back in the day. What, you know, pop star or rapper who is a non-black who avidly uses the word on a regular basis and within their music gets any backlash for it now? Nobody.
Nobody. And I'm saying, especially in New York, especially on the East Coast. Like I said, it was totally different in Phoenix growing up. We didn't hear nobody saying that. But out here, oh yeah. Patron, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Latinos from New York, Florida, and California say it with their chest, and it's unacceptable in my opinion. Then YT people think they can get a pass to say it. It's gross and it grinds my gears. And it's wild. Thank you, Swag Fan, for the $5 super chat. We're the most influential people. It's damn near impossible to gatekeep everything we do. But the things that we can, we don't. Because I second that emotion. It would be very, very hard. However, the things that we can, we don't. We're just so welcoming. We are. Like
We
I said,
used to gatekeep it. I think back in the day it was very gate kept and it was very hush hush if you did say it. Now it's very out loud because they know that they, you know, you're gonna say whatever you want to say behind, you know, closed doors of your own home. But now it's out loud and prevalent because who gonna check me, boo? Exactly what kind of backlash is it gonna be? Is it really? I can remember back in the day. Remember like when I think Hulk Hogan, Paula Deen, like your ass was like when you were canceled. You were canceled. You know, suffered ramifications where it matters the most financially. Your pockets were hit. These people pockets ain't getting hit. Like y'all even said, like, well, Cardi B got some backlash that one time. Yeah, did it affect her pockets? No, because that's where it matters.
Yeah, absolutely, y'all. But easing on down this road, let's go to something lighter because we're about to get very heavy in a minute. So let's go back over here. I know.
All right, y'all. This is like some of my pickup lines that blow Trey. I actually
We got married April.
like, you know, could we exchange? You know, like, can I take you out? Type shit. You niggas don't. You did. I'm telling you, niggas folding. I'm telling y'all, like, just do it. I'm telling you, bro. On my granny, I will not lie to y'all. Like, niggas going. You gotta like. I got pickup lines on my granny. I gotta make you feel good, baby. I swear to God.
Make you feel good, baby.
We got married April 6th and divorced May 28th.
So you're divorced?
Yes. But there is a 90-day waiting period in Islam where it's basically you have 90 days to see if you're pregnant because then the he would be responsible, right? And then also in those 90 days, it's for reconciliation because Allah wants you to stay married. And then during those 90 days, you are not to like entertain anybody romantically. So what I will say is that Islam has made my life a lot easier. I think even with this transition and, things changing,
Right.
honestly, it's like, I don't think anybody gets married to not stay married. So I think my biggest thing for me is this is a nice 90-day reset, just
Wow.
focusing on myself and pouring into myself. And what I also will add is that I followed my heart, and that's more than what most people can say in this world. And I have no shame in that. That's why I'm here. BET Awards. As you can see, I'm out here on this blacktop by myself.
Yeah, well,
It ain't no nigga or no bitch on earth that's so important or means so much that you can't walk away and get your life together. I swear to God, man.
A word.
I'm to the point, I don't even argue with nobody. This is too much for my life right now. I don't have to take this. I'm going home.
Girl.
Never gave a damn. I ain't never gave no fuck.
Immediately, she got her hijab off. So, I mean, that lasted all of 2 seconds. Again, this is just foolishness, but I want to go back to what Kevin said, because it was a bar that he said, and so I just want to go over there really quick one more time, because kind of F what Brittany was saying, because girl, I don't take you seriously at all. But let's hear what Kevin said one more time.
It ain't no nigga or no bitch on earth that's so important or means so much that you can't walk away and get your life together. I swear to God, man. I'm to the point, I don't even argue with nobody. This is too much for my life right now. I don't have to take this. I'm going home.
I don't have to take this. I'm going home. Yeah, he's supposed to still be married to Drika, but he was gonna have his poly situation. He was gonna have a harem of wives. I always felt like this was a publicity stunt. I never took any of it serious in the first place, so it doesn't surprise me. It was a 60-day, a 90-day fiance or whatever the situation was. I don't take either one of these people seriously, for real. But I just had to put it in there because it was topical. Tyra, what did you think about the whole Brittany Renner and Kevin Gates? And we knew her right from getting with that young boy. She was one of them old cougar cats getting with the teens, right? So, yeah. What do you think? What do you think?
Girl, these hoes need somewhere to stay. These hoes need accommodations. They need somewhere to stay. This is crazy. This is crazy. Like all the converting of it all, or at least pretending to, is a bit much. But what do we expect? Like you said, taking on the younger, it's the same. Who is that? I seen the video with him the other day, and it literally looked like a mother sitting with her child. Drea Michelle. These hoes need a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
They need a place to stay. They need regular income. They're trying to clock in. It seems like there's always a time clock on these influencer, baddie, maybe once upon a time video, Instagrammable, make a whole thought, whatever. They're always kind of on a time crunch. It's all fun and dandy when they can kind of have the pick of the litter, be the it girl, and be the industry pass around or whatever, because I swear they be all sleeping with the same 7 chicks. But by the time you hit 30, mid 30, there's always a fresh batch of women coming in, new prospects. And when you're no longer that, and maybe everybody's kind of had a turn at this point, or whatever prospects that you maybe had at 25, we don't have them at 35. So then we start trying to, okay, well, Kevin Gates over there, let me see if I can flip that into a profit. It's like, I'm gonna give you 10 tomorrow, and then we're gonna flip it. And it's gonna be 100. It's like, come on. I would think that it's crazy. It's like none of them save up for a rainy day. Like none of them ever think about the after effects of when I'm no longer, the hottest, whatever. And with all the effort that a Britney puts into her branding to get in the rooms with these men, girl, you could be a billion things, ma'am. Because you have to be smart to even get here. You have to know how to play and move and shape, maybe beyond your beauty a little bit, to even make it to this point. And y'all don't plan for later? Y'all don't,
Wow.
put any
Have no
business,
investment?
investments, any increments of anything to the side. So when all of this does fail or my beauty begins to fade, and it doesn't take much because once you're, 30 and up, you're done.
Yeah.
Let me plan for that. They don't. And then that has you looking sideways, standing next to a Kevin Gates wearing a damn hijab. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm glad that this is done and we don't have to suffer through any of what this could have been much longer.
Yeah, I just say leave people's faiths alone. People's faith is sacred. And I just feel like you did this just for a check and for a game. And I think that's kind of the worst kind of deception of it all. Like it's really kind of disturbing. But speaking of disturbing, I don't know if you guys had heard this story. Trigger warning. This is a very heavy story, very heavy subject matter, but I just think it's important because something's going on with people. People are kind of snapping. And I just think awareness needs to be had. And, if you can love on your loved ones, love on them a little bit tighter. And if you are stressed out or feel like you're having a mental break, find someone that you can trust to give your kids to and go get the help that you need. But yeah, I just want to preface that trigger warning, trigger warning, trigger warning. Yeah, injury to a child, unaliving to a child. Okay, so trigger warning.
Disturbing new details tonight in connection with a 3-year-old girl's reported disappearance in Newcastle County, Delaware. Her mother is now charged in connection with her death. This is the news at 6. I'm Sheba Russell.
And I'm Jason Martinez. Investigators say the mother of Nola Dinkins not only lied about the little girl's abduction, but according to court documents, she allegedly told investigators that she beat her daughter to death. Her boyfriend also facing criminal charges. Our Kelly Rule's been following this developing story. She has more about this unthinkable crime from Newcastle, Delaware.
31-year-old Darian Randall remains behind bars here in Newcastle County, Delaware on $1 million cash bail, awaiting extradition back to Maryland, where police charged her with the murder of her 3-year-old daughter. Now, Cecil County officials say her boyfriend, charged with crimes related to the girl's death, was released today on $75,000 cash bond and home detention, despite the request he be held without bond. We want to warn you, some details of this case are disturbing.
How could you do that to your child? It's just, I could never.
Chloe Elborn says her community is haunted by what investigators say happened in this home on Elk Nest Drive, one of the first homes built in a newer cul-de-sac in Northeast Maryland. Court documents reveal 31-year-old Darian Randall admitted to beating her 3-year-old daughter Nola Dinkins to death with a belt at the home, owned by her boyfriend, 44-year-old Cedric Britton. After admitting her story, she originally told Newcastle County Police Tuesday night about her daughter being abducted on the side of the road in Delaware, more than 20 miles away from their home, was not true.
It's just insane how close it was, and I've just been shaken up from it and sick.
Documents say after the alleged beating Monday, Britton tried to give Nola CPR, but she did not survive. Documents say Randall told police she put her daughter in a suitcase, which they took to the car, drove around with, and returned home, and eventually she asked Britton to relocate the suitcase. Documents say during an interview with police, Britton showed police a map of where he said Randall took Nola, and using that map, documents say police located the suitcase with remains inside on Dune Drive, a private road behind Britton's home. Neighbors say they never saw Nola or her mom and rarely saw Britton. Yesterday, they saw a truck remove cars from the home.
Well, it quickly escalated to something else because then a forensic unit showed up and more police showed up. Quite shocking. I mean, a 3-year-old? That's just absolutely terrible. And just hard to believe things like that happen, and let alone in your backyard, so to speak.
Court documents obtained by Fox 29 from Marion County, Indiana, show a custody battle between Randall and Nola's father dating back to June of 2023. Records filed in March of this year show that Randall pulled her motion to move to Maryland, and that Randall and Nola's father agreed to specific parenting arrangements in Indiana. Back in Maryland, neighbors tell Fox 29 Britton was at a homeowners association meeting Tuesday night when he got the first call from police.
He acted fine. He acted like a normal person would. But obviously had some stuff going on.
Maryland State Police say the chief medical examiner's office will identify the remains recovered and determine the cause and manner of death. Reporting in Newcastle, I'm Kelly Rule, Fox 29 News.
Like I said, I wanted to share that story, first of all, for awareness, but also if parenting is getting to be too much, if you're stressed, if you're dealing with other things, if you can't control your anger with your child, there are resources out there that you can seek out first. You know what I mean? I hate this situation. I hate everything about it. So originally the story was a white man abducted her baby on the side of the road 20 minutes away from where they were. I guess, you know, they had car issues. She got out. A man came up, snatched the baby, is the story they initially went with. Of course, they eventually found out that mom had did it and boyfriend covered it up. I guess my biggest thought or question would be, why didn't you just give baby to dad? Y'all had been going back and forth since 2023 about custody. Why not leave baby with dad in Indiana and you go to Maryland? Like, I don't understand the concept of, if you're struggling, if you're having anger issues, mental problems, whatever it is, why are you holding on so tight to this baby when there's another possibility for her? I hate everything about this. The baby did not deserve it. It's a tragic story. And I hope that mama is under the jail. $1 million bond. I'm just pissed he got off on 75,000 and he's out now. So I don't know how that'll work, because he was definitely complicit. He definitely helped her hide it and cover up everything. So I think he needs to pay as well. But we just have to be mindful. And if you guys see something, say something when it comes to these kids. Tyra?
Girl, I would love to lay hands on that lady. I would just say, be mindful of who you're having children with. And it's just also scary that we are fighting so hard to not be able to roll up to the clinic and, oh, you have to keep that baby. Everybody doesn't need to be a parent. Everybody's not designed to be a mother or a father. I don't think that this is someone who wanted to be helped. I don't think that this is someone, it was a custody or not my baby. To do what she did and discard that baby like that, this is a sick person. I feel like this is someone who probably abused that baby, endlessly, prior to this. This only would have been avoidable if it was a see something, say something situation. Because unfortunately, we do have some devious people who take pleasure in, torturing, especially if she had whatever relationship with the father or whatever it could have been. She just could have been a sick person. That's what that baby was used for, as a punching bag. And sadly, there's always a man or a significant other, a woman there to be a co-conspirator, gladly to participate, gladly to house you while you're beating on this baby. And there's no telling what hands he had, in that, to just be so complacent to stand by her side and help her discard that baby in that way. These are sick people, and they always have assistance. I just think it's always up to somebody, on the outside, or if you are that other parent and you are passionate and you do care and you know something is wrong, fight tooth and nail to get that baby away from that other person. Get them away from that other person, because you just never know. I don't feel like this lady wanted any help. Even her photo, her mugshot, her eyes look very dark. She just it's her face is just really unsettling. Yeah, but I don't think that this was something where, logically, if you are struggling as a mother, a father, a parent, and you need a moment, find a safe space for that baby to be and gather yourself for as long as it takes you to gather yourself, if you can, or try to go and resource and out to something until it shouldn't even get to this. But with what she did and how she thought to resolve it, this is a sick person. She never wanted any help, and I think it's unfortunate that for 3 years this baby probably went through hell.
For all 3 years, while dad was fighting for it. And how sick will he be, or is he, now knowing this happened to his baby and there was nothing he could do? He's states away. There's nothing he could do about it. It's
I
done.
was gonna say, and who knows? She probably did this to spite, the dad. Who, because if if you thought enough, or you were just that done, why wouldn't you give the baby over to the dad? I don't know. This is sick behavior. punch her in the face wherever she's locked up at, please.
Absolutely. I
The
hope they get her
first
in the future.
photographs.
But here I want to go over to the daguerreotype situation. And I don't know if you're familiar with this situation and what's going on. I'm going to play a little clip. But basically, Harvard has been holding on to these daguerreotypes, which were like basically the first type of film. There was some sort of like silver method that the very elite and very wealthy would use to capture images, right? And there was a professor at Harvard who said that Black people were a different species than white people, and he was going to go down to the South with his Daguerreotype, whatever, and he was going to take these images and it was going to show how they were lesser beings than white people. Well, when the people saw these images, they were like, yeah, that doesn't prove your point. Take these and put these away and hide them forever. So Harvard has had them in an archive for forever, and the descendants of these people who were captured on this daguerreotype have been fighting Harvard University for the rights to these images, and Harvard has been like, no. Well, there's finally been a movement in the case. As far as the court is concerned, these are some of the images, you guys. I have them in a state of dress. Sasha Huber, which is an artist, redresses them just like for dignity or whatever. And so this is from her exhibit from 2023. But I'm going to go ahead and play the clip and she'll let you know exactly what's happening. I thought this was just important. Seeing as how we're just coming right outside of June.
The first photographs. One day. It has been 175 years since their photos were taken. It has been almost 50 years since the first daguerreotypes, the first photos, the first images of enslaved Black people in the United States were found. Found in Harvard University's Peabody Museum by an archivist. It has been decades since Black writers and Black artists who tried to rehumanize the images of the 7 enslaved people who were photographed were sued and made to pay Harvard University. It has been 6 years since the descendant of Renty and Delia Taylor filed a lawsuit against Harvard University. It has been over almost 20 years since Haitian Swiss artist Sasha Huber began reclaiming the colonization in the landscape from Louis Agassiz, going so far as to stand naked on summits posed in the same positions that Agassiz commissioned on that slave plantation in 1850. It has been one day since Harvard University finally relinquished some of those photographs, the daguerreotypes that were taken 175 years ago in support of eugenics and the dehumanization of Black people.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know what eugenics is, it's kind of like if you've ever read W.E.B. Du Bois, The Talented Tenth, he talks about it. Margaret Sanger, who's founded Planned Parenthood, were proponents of eugenics. It's basically like culling a race to leave only the most viable, the most profitable, the best of the best, and you eliminate everything else or less than. Of course, this is from a World War II regime. I won't say the name. I don't want the live to get whatever. But it's basically a process of extermination to leave only the desirables, right, that are left. And so again, Agassiz, the professor back then, his aim was to show that they were less than human, that they were not the same species as whites. And again, it's done the opposite. And again, just now, only some of these daguerreotypes have gone back to the descendants of these enslaved peoples. But hopefully, at some point, this will set precedent and the other descendants will be able to claim their ancestors' photos as well. Tyra, had you heard about this? Any thoughts on this?
In like a roundabout way, I heard about it, but not like to this extent. What else are you hiding? What else are you withholding? You know, every time I hear a story similar to this, there's just always, what other historical artifacts, information are you withholding? Because if this is what we're seeing, there has to be, so much more. There's kind of this narrative, especially in the past couple of years, to kind of erase our history in particular. I don't know. Well, we know why, but it just seems to be like a commonality of reclaiming some things that were never yours to begin with, and erase anything that was there prior. And that's sad. I'm not surprised. I don't know the process or what it would take to reclaim some of these things, but I think if they're gatekeeping any historical artifacts or information this hard, I think it probably like unmasks some truths, not you just admitting something to yourself, but maybe auto correcting some wrongs or where we were, things we did historically that we would probably take claim over that we may not be privy to because we've just never seen it documented. And it's like, oh, it's here in black and white. No, we're not going to have it here in black and white. We're going to keep it, buried wherever, and you're never going to see it. And it's going to be hearsay. I don't know. We know what are we going to do? I would love for all of these things to be out for, public knowledge and consumption, and for our things to be our things. But I just feel like if they're withholding this, what else are you hiding that we would want to see? And is it really that deep for you to need to gatekeep it?
Yeah. Apparently it is. There's something they don't want us to know. I agree, Abundance. There's definitely something they don't want us to know, because why wouldn't you give this to these people's ancestors? Like, you're a institution of alleged higher education. Why wouldn't you want this in the hands of the people that would benefit most from this knowledge, from this wealth of information? Even there, they said in the archives and in the museum, it was still by appointment. It was still a very designated and select few who were even able to go into the room, glove up, mask up, and even look at these images before. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if there's a million other things that are going on. But staying kind of, in that vein, but a little bit different, I want to come over here because we get a premiere of a brand new MCU property, right? She was introduced in Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And her character, I think, made its appearance in 2016 in an Iron Man comic, right? And that is Ironheart. The premiere will be on Tuesday, June 24th, so just in a few short days. And I really want us to take time out of our days to go and check this out. Now, you're probably like, Ashley, what are you going on about? This young lady, Dominique Thorne, has received so much hate already. I just dropped some of the comments down here below under one of the posts. This is that BLM wokeness. We never asked for this. Give us Moon Knight, bring back Iron Man. We never wanted this. So much so that Robert Downey had to make a public statement that said, Miss Thorne, Iron Man loves Ironheart. I'm supporting you in this endeavor. I want you to do this. And I just think it's sick that this young lady is getting all of this backlash. If you don't know her or don't recognize her, she was in If Beale Street Could Talk. She was in more recently Freaky Tales. If you watched
Yeah.
Freaky Tales, she was one of the girlfriends who was rapping in that. I think she's a great talent, and I think this deserves a shot. I'm just so scared that they're going to review bomb it or whatever, so that it gets limited. But I think if you can make time on Tuesday night, it would be amazing if you could go over and check it out. Again, the premise is a young Black woman, a teen, who is going to MIT. She's a savant, she's a genius, and she's kind of obsessed with Iron Man, and she makes her own tech and she becomes a superhero. Tyra, any thoughts on this, the backlash she's receiving, and if you're, down to watch it?
You know how I feel about Marvel. You know how I feel about Marvel. But this is always a testament to us needing to have our own, because not just her, it's going to be 10 times harder because it is her, and Ironheart is I think like a 14-15-year-old Black girl, genius. We set her up there, but you set her up for failure in comparison to this is the Black girl equivalent to Robert Downey Jr.'s, or just the Iron Man character overall. So there's that. We see this, it seems like, so often now with the most recent Marvel projects, or whether it's Disney and Little Mermaid situation. We get set up with these narratives, and then my issue is I hope it's good. nobody should be disrespecting her or diminishing the project. Like, nobody's even seen anything. You don't even know. But when we do this, with Marvel, we get away from just either how great it is or how bad it is. But either way, it's going to suffer because, you see what happens when you give them a chance, when you greenlight a more so black centered project. Nobody watched it, nobody supported it. It was that, when it could have been black centered or white centered or whatever, and it just could have been poorly executed and bad writing and just subpar storytelling. We just don't give it any legs to stand on because it's already diminished because you're not Iron Man and then you're a black girl and we don't want to see that and that. And it does such a disservice to this young lady. And I think that's really unfortunate. I'm really happy that she has this opportunity. And we're definitely going to be watching and discussing it, but this just doesn't do it any favors. What would be great with this project is if it was undeniably fabulous. That would be great. And with Marvel, so far, that hasn't been the story. So I'm like, don't sit here and bring her here and play in her face and then have it be subpar. Please make it amazing. Have it be, okay, see, now we know y'all hate. Because, baby, tell me Ironheart wasn't the best thing you've seen from Marvel in a very long time. I hope it's good. That would make it, sting a little bit. But with Marvel's track record, things just haven't been that great. But I wish her all the success in the world and all that backlash. Like, I don't know what Robert coming out saying anything is going to do. That's great, Somebody get Ja on the phone. Where's Ja? Get Robert on the phone. That's great.
Iron Man,
that's great. That's great. But people are gonna people. We always have this the equivalent to whatever character, so whatever white counterpart or whatever. They're gonna step in and say, "Hey, not little Halle Bailey, not this. Give it a chance." And da. But I do get a little wary with the exclusivity being at the extension of whatever. I do want my own black superheroes. That's, an amalgamation of somebody's mind and they just created it. And I think this is why we went up so heavily, even though there were traces of beloved superheroes there. When we saw Supercell, it was like, oh, okay, this is us. This is, it's just fresh and it's new and it's original. I do want that opposed to this, but I am really happy for her opportunity. I hope it's good though, because don't play in her face. But they're going to do a disservice to the role and to the show immediately just because she's black.
Well, I feel like if we can do a Miss Marvel, which I didn't expect to enjoy, but gave it a chance and really enjoyed it, which is, the younger, she's like obsessed with Captain Marvel, but she is of like Indian descent, like from India. And it actually turned out to be a good series. And I don't understand why we can't do the same for Ironheart. This isn't the whitening of a character. She has always been black in the comics, in the lore. She is who she is. And I think representation matters and it's important, but I also agree. Marvel can be very hit and miss with their series, and it's definitely a matter of preference. But I don't think she deserves the hate she's getting. So at the very least, I feel like we can watch to give it an opportunity, right? And see what happens. That's just my hope in this. But easing on down the road, what do I want to get into next? Oh gosh, I have so many, you guys. I had so many topics for the day.
The first photograph.
Let's go over here. We're gonna go to some more foolishness really quick, and then we'll round it out with it'll really be more foolishness, but let's see. Let's go over here.
These titties in my face, actually.
Sorry, every time. Every time, girl.
Yeah,
never gave a damn.
Girl, I ain't trying to see you and get copywritten because of glow. Big glow.
Oh, Lord.
Girl, because I saw this today and I was like, what in the world? Just tomfoolery.
I do. I have so many kids. I have a king complex.
You have a what?
A king complex. I was like, as black men, we always be like, what's up, king?
Okay.
I'm a king. I really think I'm a king.
So you need to have, do kings have a lot of kids?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? That's how they court. They
have
enlarge
all
their
of them?
territory. That's why.
What are their names?
That's enlarging your territory.
You want all 12?
12 names. Go.
All right. This is where I usually get in trouble.
Why? Because you don't know all of them.
I know all of them, but
Okay.
like, all right, well, here we go. I'll label off for you. See, let's keep me honest. There's rock, roll, golden, powerful, rise, onyx, legendary, Zion, zillion, zen, and see, this is where how many?
You're missing 2.
I'm missing
The twins.
2.
They're packaged. They were first.
That is so freaking twisted. How you have all these damn kids and you can't even remember all their? That should be a requirement. If you're gonna have 1,000,000 babies and have your royal king's court, as you're saying, you have to at least know the baby's name. Tyra, what's wrong with him? What?
How you forget them twins? They're set. They're matching a set. How you forget them? I mean, are we surprised? Like, I was surprised he knew. Girl, that was a. Yeah, I was like, at least he got the 10. You know, what do we expect? What do we expect from the Nick Cannon, Mr. Johnny Appleseed? I gotta spread it. I don't know. I've been off kind of the train with Nick long ago because I think his narrative at first was, I think he was he diagnosed with, was it lupus or some type of autoimmune type of disease? Like, yeah, I won't be here for long, so I'm here. Got to make sure I, go forward and prosper and spread this seed and, my lineage. And, that was way back. That was way back. And, maybe 7 kids ago. I don't know. But I mean, I'm not surprised. I'm surprised he got that many. What do we want to do with Nick?
You surprised he got 10 out of 12?
Yeah, I'm surprised he got that many, but what are we going to do? And sad thing is, as long as Nick is still Nick and he's still funding whatever, they don't have a bad thing to say. There's always a contestant willing to roll up and be a part of Nick's family tree and, become, what is it, what would we call his dynamic? Is it like a sister wives? No, it's not that because they're not
poly, because they're not all in the same household, right? Like he just is spreading seed. He's just a seed spreader. And speaking of seed spreaders, let's go over here because K. Michelle went on Cam Newton's podcast, and this is just a quick excerpt. I thought it was interesting. Let's.
I'm looking at a successful black man that has the ability to literally turn the narrative on black family, and my grandfather, I watched my uncles and everything, my whole family, they're married. I'm not the girl who didn't see what a man creating a black family is supposed to be. So I'm asking right now, black men, I got to tell my black men to really step up for black women and create families.
Girl, she cried. She tried to cry. Yes, she did.
It's really not cool. Black men are attacking black women. And it's not cool. They're not creating homes. We're witnessing city girls. We're witnessing this and that. And it's like the genders are doing this.
Clashing.
It is really destroying family. Being a country singer, if you are a singer in country music, you're a man. If you are not married, it is not respected. Family is respected in country music in that space. But in our space, we are singing about side chicks. We are glorifying a lot of women. That's not what happens in Nashville. You can't call a woman a bitch in Nashville because they'll never even listen to your music. And your professional career will suffer. At what point in the black community do our men create real homes?
So, she's talking to Cam while she's saying this. Here's the thing. And I love K. Michelle down real. I done loved her since you shaking the table. Like I done loved K. Michelle for quite since VSOP, can't raise a man. Like I've been over there. But here's the thing, K. Michelle, let's not do that. Because her comparing black men to countrymen in Nashville, baby, they cheat on their wives, they beat their wives, they cuss their wives out. Just because they don't say it in a song, baby, doesn't mean that that's not pervasive in their culture as well. I think she was trying to call Cam to task and say, you know, you're part of the problem. You can be helping. You know, we're creating this generation of black men who don't want to marry black women is what I think she was trying to convey here. But I don't understand. I don't know about the tears. But talk to me, Tyra. What do you think about these excerpts?
Katie won't even let you in over there. Katie won't even let you in over there. Like, I understand what she's trying to say. I will say, I don't want to see another black woman go sit on Cam's couch and trying to convert him. Leave that man alone. Leave that man alone. And you're preaching and talking about black family dynamics to the one of the men, the wealthiest, who wants that the least and is a perpetual, habitual, line-stepping liar who sleeps around and makes babies. And if I want to talk to you later, I might. I just know I want more kids, but I don't want no woman. Like, why are we talking to him? That's weird. I get what she's trying to say. I would never sit there and compare, but I guess Kay's in a different space because I love him. I love him. I love him. Maybe I should call. I don't know. Kay, we listened to your music, so I know what it was once before, but maybe, you know, growth. All right. But country music is some of the most salacious, drag down in the street dirt. It's got a twang to it, but we cheating like hell. I don't know what traditional country she's listening to, but for a very
here's your one chance. Fancy, don't let me down.
Jolene, please, I'm begging you, please don't take my man. Girl, what is she talking about? I don't know. I think she just wanted to get into. I don't know why she put the music dynamic there, but it kind of gave white men are going to covet and take care of the white family, and they care about the dynamic versus here and what I've been through, and what I've seen is bringing me to tears that there isn't that same standard in our community. Kay, just know, Kay.
She speaks to it. She basically says in that interview as well that she's dating exclusively out of her race now, allegedly. So, you know, she's over there with the Watts in Nashville, and that's, you know, that's her prerogative.
In the way that the Watts in Nashville gatekeep their music, because they say it's theirs now, so hard that they won't even give you barely a leg to stand on to have a legitimate country career, I wouldn't be champion none of that. Girl, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, I thought we needed to watch it. DeMarcus, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Who would y'all say is worse, Cam Newton or Nick Cannon? Tyra, I'll let you go. That was on your side.
We're on equal playing fields. Who has the most kids? Is it Nick? I'm gonna go with Nick because I think he got the most kids. And the way I got Tamar, I thought she said something about Tamar on this thing, and that's why you had her on the
long interview. But I was really just talking about this part of the conversation. I
ain't
going
to I'm like, where's Tamar? What she said about Tamar? I didn't put that lady on the thumbnail for nothing. I didn't even know what she said. I just thought that that's what this clip was. That's what I've been seeing, I guess, more viral. I ain't heard or seen none of this show.
Oh Lord, yeah, this is what stood out to me, you know. But let's finally get to our last topic here, and this one, it's very topical. Just in the past couple days, B.Simone came out with her friend Shekinah, her best friend, and also I think during the same week she's laid up in the bed with the baby after having this Christian reformation. So I want to play both of these clips, and we'll talk about it. Yeah, I'm sick of Tamar roasting K Michelle and K Michelle roasting Tamar, but I did watch it.
A celebrity, everybody thinks that, oh, because you're connected to this person, then your life is just as grand as theirs, or you got it, or they helping you. Baby, didn't have a job, living with my parents, a single mom. All this happened to me this past year. Jesus. And then it's like to not have resentment in my heart towards you because I saw you do this for other people. I saw you give a check to somebody to help them through whatever they went through. And it's like, God, like nobody didn't give me a handout, but guess what? That wasn't your responsibility. God had to take me through that for my own season, for my own thing. I had to get my car repossessed. Jesus. I had to go through the food stamps line. I had to be on Medicaid because whatever I'm building my story too. But it's like, as a friend somebody who has it, it's hard to digest.
Jesus, girl.
Why I didn't help you calling Jesus, girl? Because what kind of? Here's the thing. Here's for me. If you my friend and I got it, we got it. We got it, baby. Where are we going? Because if I got it, you got it. I would hate to be in a friendship where this person is made her first million 4 or 5 years ago. I watched B.Simone go from nothing to something, right? And the fact that you have this friend who's on Medicaid getting stamps with her car repossessed with a child. There's no way if I got it that you're struggling like now. And I get you can't help everybody, but if I call you friend, if I call you best friend, baby, I'm not gonna see you out here with your child in the welfare line like on good times. I'm gonna see you over there when I got $1 million in the bank. Tyra, talk to me about that, and then we'll get into the baby because this was crazy as hell to me.
Oh, I knew B.Simone didn't have any sense getting back into the baby when she made that cringy video comparing herself to the sexy Latina Danny Lee, and I'm just black, and I'm just, ooh, just look at her. Like, she's always had like what seems to be low self-worth image wise, and I think it projects. This here, first of all, I think there's a fine line between where your social standing and capital is and what somebody, just because in proximity to you, you owe me this. I've been, there are takers and users, and then there is, real ones, friends. And if you're saying that this is because it didn't say friend, it said best friend. It was Jesus. Wow, like this was news to her. How close are we? Girl, what? Girl, you was hanging in the child line. Good time. Girl, you was over there. What? Huh? Girl, damn. Yeah, how close are we if this is like news to you? And there was no reconciliation here or like, friend, if I had known, like, did she come to you? It doesn't feel like she did. It felt like, girl, if you know my story and you see my struggle, if we're as close, I would think that if we're, helping or giving handouts, I would, be one of those recipients. But B.Simone gives, for image wise, like, because when you were helping whomever, was it on a public platform? Did it, was there a video out? Was it that? Or are you genuinely somebody who revels in helping other people? But if you are, and it's real, I'm going to help the ones closest to me first.
That part.
I'm going to help them first. And you did it. So if there would be no best in the sentence, and the way that she just, what? Girl, well, Jesus, wow. Yeah, I don't think they're as close as she maybe thought, because if it's all of that and you might, girl, here it goes, and ain't nobody gonna know about it but me and you. Like, girl, I'm not gonna play with you. No.
Crazy as hell. I don't know. Like I said, and even if I don't want to give you the cash money, me being in position to put you on, I'm going to put you on with somebody who can fund that. And then later in the interview, she talks about finally now getting an opportunity with a brand. And when she tells her about it, when she tells B.Simone about it, B.Simone said, "Oh, I didn't like that. Like, I don't like how I felt when you said that." And she's like, "Why? Were you jealous?" No, it wasn't jealousy, but it's like I didn't want you to have it without going through me or without us doing it together. And I was like,
oh, so you want to be the one financially well off. You just want it to be you. I can't get an ounce of opportunity for myself. All I need to hear is yes, friend. That's a blessing. I can't wait, to see what happens for you next. Yes, girl, go. Especially if it wasn't at the expense, like, you didn't help me. Ocho Cinco wanted me. You didn't help me.
Yeah, tired. But now let's get into this other part, child. That was the friend part. We're gonna get over here.
Oh Lord.
Is it your foot?
Mind you, she's in the bed, laid up in the bed with him.
I love you too. Welcome back to another
Why are
episode
we in the bed?
Let's try this. You don't need no introduction.
Let's go.
When's the last time you've been in love?
When I met you, I'm like,
Girl,
I don't know how
please.
to take this girl.
You thought I was playing.
You would.
No, you were
Do
thirsty.
you think I am too alpha, too boss, to have?
He do not like this lady.
Like, could a guy like you really
He will not like you.
Like me? Sean, I've never heard you say that.
You in the bed?
I have. You're so scared of her.
No, I'm not. You is.
No, I'm not. Why do you think that?
I mean,
Last question, and then we go. This is just fun. You don't want a relationship.
I've never been one to judge, but I thought she was on a spiritual journey and finding the Lord and wanted a husband and wanted all this stuff and was doing everything about the Lord. And what happened? The Pick Me Award of the year
Goes to B.Simone, apparently. Tyra.
Girl, she let that man dirty draws. She loved a baby's dirty funky. Yeah. She loved his dirty draws. I think from that moment, I think he was a guest on Wildin' Out, and she been following that man around ever since, just waiting for a moment, waiting for an opportunity. And notice he's sitting with you when he's a little down and out right now, to his own detriment, and ruined his freaking career. Like, this is sad, even with how she was boasting and claiming that man, and he played in your face. Like, he's never that for you. So why are we always, girl, she was giggity in that bed. It's weird. And just even with, the behavior that the baby displays towards women in general, he's nobody's prize. Nobody should want that type of energy. But the fact that she does says a lot about who she is as a woman and where she is mentally. Spiritual journey, I think not. Not if we're trying to be close to the baby. But hey, maybe this time he'll claim her. I don't know.
There's no way I would have seen what happened with him and that light-skinned lady who sings.
Yellow bone.
Yeah. There's no way I would have seen how he did her and think, "Oh, I'm gonna be different. He's gonna treat me nicely." The baby, whether legally or not, has blickied a couple people here in the Carolinas. Like, ain't nobody playing with the baby. Why are you over there in that bed giggling and tee-heeing with
Punch
this man?
women in the face because you were standing too close to me. I thought you was trying to touch me. Get that light out of my face. Hitting bras left and right.
And Inez, yes, she was just preaching in her coochie cutters. She had a prayer conference in the cut off coochie cutters and the blazer. Yeah, they roasted her for that. Jesus. Yeah, y'all. But that's it. It came up in my on my FYP on my timeline. So we had to talk about it. But y'all, that was the Collective News episode 6. I hope you enjoyed it, honey. We got to 150 people at one point in time. Thank y'all so much for being here. Tyra, anything you'd like to let the good people know about? And are we coming back for an episode 7?
Y'all leaving comments or not? Y'all leaving comments or not? Thank you so much to everyone who supported the chat. And not just in a financial sense. We do appreciate that, but for the Collective News to garner engagement, once we end the live, you have to drop down in the comment section and run it up. I don't care if you're just showing love or you're leaving commentary on one of the, subjects at hand, or you're maybe, discussing a topic that you want to see that wasn't mentioned here. But there has to be engaging. You guys have to pour into the lives, because what we don't like is when we cancel Christmas on something. It's like, what happened to the Collective News? It's like, well, it wasn't, garnering anything, you guys. So we had to let it go. I will definitely be back this Saturday coming up with the Collective News, but it has to, something got to shake, something has to transpire for it to be a regular thing. It's either going to be gone completely and there will be no Collective News, or we're going to have to just maybe knock it down to not once a week, but maybe once a month, But yeah, but if you remember, okay, about to have this watch along. We are about to watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and for the low price of membership, because I love y'all, in the Discord, we will also be watching 28 Years Later. Don't ask me about it. Don't ask me no questions, but I got it. We're going to be watching it. So, Miriam, if you're in here, make sure you are there, because I know you love a good horror situation. I will be showing 28 Weeks Later in the Discord later. And of course, following this live, we will be getting into my pick, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. So be there for that, please.
Oh, sorry, DeMarcus. Yes, it was right here. $5 per chat. Who would you say has a better voice, Casey from Jodeci or Bobby Brown?
Time keeps slipping away from me.
First of all, KC gonna sing down. I love Bobby. Bobby, I love you, but KC, especially on a non-drug day in them 90s, KC was singing. Okay, I'm gonna go over there. He was singing. Go listen to Lately, and then come back and ask me that question.
You sing it down, sing your panties off in a certain time and era. We're not gonna say what the liquor did to him, but KC all day. Abundance, you heard it right. Years. We will never reveal our source or our secrets. Just make sure that you're there in the collective Discord. QR code up here, right above. If you want to join the Discord, Lydia over there. We're 300 deep in the Discord, so come on over. I am going to leave you with tonight's pick for Blockbuster Movie Night. Have the most amazing night, guys, and we will see y'all in the next video.
I've lived in this city all my life, but somehow today I felt everything had changed. I know this is going to sound insane. Jeffrey is not Jeffrey. I'd keep seeing these people. Things were being passed between them.
None of them were people you knew?
People were different. Not just Jeffrey, but everybody. It was like the whole city had changed overnight. People are being duplicated. And once it's happened to you, you're part of this thing.
Will you please listen to what you're saying? I can understand why you're